Hi everyone, this is LazyFire. Welcome back to Battlefield 4 multiplayer. It's a special video today. It's all EOD bot kills and jihad kills, but I also have a special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Zil. I do trolling videos and with the Mav.
Uh, yeah, you do trolling videos. It's kind of why you're here. It's one of those things I didn't get to talk about a lot in the Let's Play I did of the game or the multiplayer section of it, and I went and contacted you about this because you were literally the only Battlefield video person that I actually watch. So I figured this would be a good opportunity to talk to you about that. And plus, you have some really great videos. And I do want to talk about two in particular later on. But yeah, you do Mav trolling videos, which are super entertaining. Among other things, you also do a few different types of videos. But you want to really talk about what you do, how it works, the mechanics of it and all?
Well, sure. Now that they've nerfed the Mav, the initial nerf of the Mav, the way it works is back in Battlefield 3, you set down an ammo kit, and the ammo will not disappear for the duration of the match unless it's destroyed. So you basically, all I had to do is plant down a Mav, and then plant down another one because another one would be in your inventory due to the ammo. And then from there on, you'd have infinite Mavs. And as long as you were in a safe location, you'd get a bunch of kills, even post Mav nerf, because it would kill in contact, and then you'd have another Mav immediately available.
hmm and it should be mentioned the Mav is the. Some people might not know this, but because I never really showed it off, but the Mav is a little flying robot for the Recon class in Battlefield 3 and 4. And when Battlefield 3 first got released, there were some pretty significant bugs around it. So you could plow like 10 or 15 people over with the Mav, or you could ride it like an elevator. So it now, whenever you contact somebody or hit a wall too hard, it just explodes, which is how you kill people.
Yeah, you come into contact with somebody, and now they've nerfed it to a point where there's no chance for your Mav to actually come back. As before, it was possible to mow down an infinite amount of people as long as you didn't flip it upside down or get shot down.
Yeah, and even with those nerfs, you still managed to make people quite angry in Battlefield 3 with the Mav, and it's actually pretty impressive because you don't just like go into games and then get text chat about how you're a terrible person and all that. You actually target live streamers and TeamSpeak servers.
Yes. When I was first thinking about how I can make the Mav look as terrible as it is, I couldn't think I could justify a video on text alone. I wanted voice and video reactions, and I was already familiar with TeamSpeaks, so I decided that when I was joining this new clan that I just mess around with them. I wasn't really thinking about trolling, but after I did that video, that first TeamSpeak trollage, I thought, why not do this some more? People like it.
And it's definitely one of those things that's just absolutely hilarious to watch people's or hear people's reactions to getting killed by the Mav, because it's a little useless robot. At the end of the day, it shouldn't really affect your gameplay that much. But people do get really, really angry at you for doing this, and have had fucking on-screen breakdowns over it. I mean, it's
Yes.
absolutely amazing. But I do want to mention that you do a lot of live stream trolling as well. And in those situations, it seems that you have the feed from their live stream, and you're just using their live stream to go find them somewhere on the map and nail them with the Mav. How does that work? Do you have like another computer set up? How is your setup for this?
Well, I had a second monitor to my right, and it was just a extra 1080p display, and I'd throw the live stream up on the right display, and Chrome and Fraps, Fraps doesn't have the easiest hooking to applications, so I'd make Chrome go into the Windows app mode and then back again. It would hook to the Chrome window, and then that's how I recorded the live stream, whereas the game was on my main display, and I just recorded off the second display.
I thought you were taking the. I actually thought you were taking the live stream feed from their like archives or something and putting it up. So that makes a lot more sense now.
Sometimes that works. Sometimes they do leave archives, but in cases where they don't, that'd be wasted effort, and I couldn't fetch it back again.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I now I understand it. 'Cause when I was thinking about like how you did this, it's like clearly because we had run into famous Battlefield. Oh God, famous Battlefield Twitch superstar Wiggity Bear not too long ago in one of
Hmm.
his servers, and there was actually like a good 5 6 minutes of people just like sending SUAVs, the little exploding airburst drone things, at him and
Hmm.
knocking him out of the sky, where he was like not visibly angry because he always says people can't troll him because he's untrollable, but like he was not happy with the server and you could tell. And I was like, how do I show people this? It's like couldn't figure out how to pull video from Twitch, so I get what you're saying now. Makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, sometimes in the videos you can hear like people who I've invited to watch along with me, or people who are in on it. I'm teaming up with to
Hmm.
troll in the background. It's not the trollee, but rather people I'm working with and people watching.
Yeah, I've heard someone commenting on the videos as certain people are doing certain things or saying things, like making fun of him, and I was like, "Is that him? Is that not him? What's going on here?" Uh, but on top of that, how do you find these guys? Do you just go into Twitch and type in Battlefield and see what happens?
Yeah, there's a filtering process that I do. Like, obviously, I don't troll console because I don't own any of the consoles, and English is preferred. Although, if there's no English targets, I've gotten some foreign languages that are good content as well. There's basically targets that are unpreferential to other targets, and sometimes it's like the map, for example. Like, if it's a small TDM map, it really limits where I can hide with an ammo and a MAV to
Hmm.
perform it, so it'd just be a waste of time. So I don't go after, it's basically look for targets and see if it's worth it to go after it on the Twitch Battlefield 4 link, or Battlefield 3 link.
Yeah, and so you basically are just looking for targets on Twitch. There's a screening process and everything like that. But you've also had multi-day trolls where you just kept coming back to the same people as well. I'm thinking Mr. Big Bong Rip in this case, where it's very clear it was like over the course of a couple days you were just nailing this guy with Mavs.
Yeah, he kept thinking I'm just some guy that likes to stick in hardcore servers, but no, I was just after him the entire time. That was kind of funny, but
Yeah.
yeah, I tried to make my videos at least 10 minutes long, more long, 15 to 30 minutes.
Mm.
So basically the limitation is mainly when they figure out they're being trolled, or I think I've got enough content on them already.
Yeah, and I mean, Mr. Big Bong Rip is one of the videos I did want to talk about, and your video for him is almost 22 minutes long. I mean, just you kept getting this guy, and he kept doing the stupidest shit. Like,
Hmm.
because he was playing hardcore servers, he was shooting down his own team's jets and
Yes.
helicopters, thinking it was you, or worried it was you, or he was like he was like come out of something and then fire it on teammates, thinking it was you, like getting kicked from all these servers. It was amazing. Like you made this man paranoid.
Yeah, he was over there at this one part in the video, like on my team trying to get in my squad, and I'm sitting on the edge of the map, wondering what I can do to Mav troll him, and I'm in a jet, and then he spawns in, gets in the helicopter, and then that's when I start shooting at him at that one point. I suppose you saw it. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I did. That was like you got him to like go and commit a bunch of war crimes basically against his own team
Yeah,
in an
getting
effort
hit.
to find you. And it was just like this is exactly what I think of when I think of people trolling other people is like this you're able to just like make them so angry they're doing irrational stupid shit and that's absolutely amazing. A lot of trolling in Battlefield 4 at this point is like I said before, jihad jeeps and EOD bot kills, so like kind of what they've limited themselves to. There's other things you can do, but it feels like it's kind of limited. But in Battlefield 3, with the MAV, you really found a pretty solid platform to mess with people. But I have to imagine that because the MAV is the MAV, and because people don't always react, you do end up probably throwing away a lot of video, right?
Yeah, yeah. There's people that don't react, and yeah, you gotta throw that away.
That's too bad. So generally, you record for a couple hours with people and kind of cut in the parts that are actually interesting. So you're kind of doing a lot of quality control there in general, though.
Yeah, I do a lot of sharp editing, like just here's the juicy parts, and you know, it's weird the quality standard. Thinking about it, trying to think, okay, they reacted here, but it's just sort of too mellow, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. It's hard to draw the line on how much you want to throw away and how much you want to keep.
Yeah.
Not to put out a boring video, but you know, keep as much as you can at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about your probably most famous incident, Major Wales in Kurdo B, where you made
Right.
a young man scream at his father about how he got bullied, and then his father suggested that he was going to get arrested for swearing.
Yeah, I don't know what the backstory is on that, but yeah, that was definitely the highlight
That was
channel.
that was the first thing anyone ever sent me of yours. Excuse me, where it was just you messing with this, basically this kid who got very angry about polygons and had a fucking meltdown at his dad about you hitting him with a Mav, and it was just like one of those things where you're seeing it and you're like, whoa, do I actually feel bad for this kid because he
Uh,
can't handle this like aspect of his life.
yeah, I paused before I uploaded it. Talking over with because see, when I originally wanted to troll him, it wasn't even Major Wales I was going after. It was Kurdo B
Mm.
stream I was trying to troll. Like at the very beginning, like you don't even know that. Like if you just watch the first 5 minutes of that video, you don't know that Major Wales is just gonna like explode at the end. It doesn't reveal that. I was actually going after Kurdo B, but I had a friend watching, and he was recording Major Wales stream while I
Uh-huh.
was recording Kurdo B's. And I had no. If you had told me at the beginning that that was going to happen at the end, I totally would have not seen that coming.
Yeah, they started out kind of amused by it, but they were sitting on a hill somewhere in Operation Firestorm, or no, sorry, Karg Island, and at the end they just like absolutely fucking lost it on the canals map, and it was just one of those things where it's like this is actually one of those moments where I'm looking at this and I'm laughing hysterically at what's happening because this kid just like it's the big issue I have with people who overreact at trolls is that like if you cannot handle that aspect, like the people messing with you in a video game, you probably should step away from the video game. But this kid obviously had more deep-seated issues, and it was like one of those. I'm laughing hysterically, but I'm also terribly uncomfortable, like fucking reading The Perks of Being a Wallflower or something. So that's kind of. I wonder if you did you actually feel bad about that, or were you like, it's just a troll video?
I Yeah, I did feel bad, but I try to distance myself. Like this is just what happened. I'm not saying I support it. I'm not saying I'm against it. Support or against it. I'm just saying I ran this kid over with a Mav, and here's what happened. It's like if I said, this action is okay, but if this action uh, goes too far, then all of a sudden the same action we were talking. Mav road killing I'm not against because it's part of the game. So I can't just, go, well, no, I'm not going to show this video because, it goes to way high because it's the same action. It's just Mav road killing.
Yeah, and I honestly don't think you're really at to blame. I should have probably rephrased this better. I don't think that there's anything you really did above and beyond to mess with this kid. It wasn't like you're in live or in the chat like telling him he should go kill himself or anything like that.
Right.
You're just hitting him with a Mav, which is at the end of the day not a real big deal. Like, what do you succeed at like one of every four attempts or something like that? Like,
Oh, that'd be hard to say, but yeah, it's, I don't know, 1 out of 4 sounds about right.
hmm. Your videos are actually really entertaining just on your own, and the people's reactions are always great. Have you really looked into Battlefield 4 stuff? Have you kind of ruled that out for a little while to see what they introduce later on, or?
Well, the thing about BF4 is nothing's too viable. Like EOD bots are particularly contained to close quarters maps because you're not going to drive it, 20, way across the map on a large conquest to troll some guy. The Mav doesn't roadkill near to the extent that it did in BF3, so it's unreliable. The SUAV, unlike in BF3, you could pull up names if you pointed your reticle at the enemy. In BF4, you can't. So if you're trying to SUAV troll, you don't really know which target you're going after. Even if you have their Twitch feed, you only have a relative idea of which soldier you're looking at is the right one. So there's a bunch of different things in BF4 that could work, but require certain conditions to be met, which don't happen often. The main thing that I'm thinking about is something I was talking to a buddy of mine, and that's putting C4 on the enemy team and then blowing it up with a Mav on your team.
And I think that's actually a really funny idea. Jihad jeeps blowing up on their own and all this other stuff. Yeah, it's one of those things that'd be really cool to see somebody go out and do that kind of professionally. But it's still, like you said, they took a lot of stuff out of that made it really easy to troll people in Battlefield 3. Some of the mechanics changed and everything. Battlefield 4, of course, had its share of broken shit at launch. It still maintains a lot of broken shit, but it's nowhere near like the level of options you had in Battlefield 3. So, but yeah, that's all really viable points, I guess. It's good to have this conversation with you, though, because I always wondered kind of how you got into this and why you were doing it. Because it's like, maybe he's just somebody who really wants me to be entertained on YouTube and has gone out of his way to find a way to make Battlefield videos interesting.
My main motivation of it is that I got tired of all the little tediums that BF3 brought about. Like, I didn't like suppression. I never liked the idea that somebody could shoot bullets around me and cause, my character to be blurred screen and inaccurate and all that. I didn't like certain overpowered weapons. And, then it came to the map, which is, like, really, you can resplight indefinitely. You can hide somewhere you'll never be found and just go on a wrecking spree, even post-nerf. So it sort of the game became so ridiculous to me that I couldn't take it seriously. And I wanted to think, I could get on the forums and I could explain how they nerf it, but they would just ignore it. They wouldn't pay attention. So how do I bring this up as an issue? And originally what I did is I went to bf3stalker.com and I just kept running over dice people, and then that's when I came out with the video hypocrisy.wmv. Yeah, where, they kicked me out of the server. I did nothing. I didn't say anything to them. All I did is I spent the whole round running them over with the map, and they didn't like that. That's the DICE devs. It's the DICE devs basically saying, yeah, you're not doing anything wrong, but we're going to kick you anyway. And then that's when I went on to troll TeamSpeaks and then live streams, basically saying, yeah, this is ridiculous. And, that's been other than entertainment value, that's been my motivation.
Right on. So, yeah, I think that's kind of our time for this one, unfortunately. But thanks so much, Zel, for doing this and being here and kind of enlightening us on how to troll Battlefield 3.
No problem.
Alright. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching, everyone.